So, dear friends, we want to introduce to you our new successful grad and new mentor and tutor for the SQE1 and SQE2, who just tackled his exams with a very high mark. Welcome to the role, Vladimir.
Thank you. I'm still sort of pinching myself now and again that I still can't believe I managed to go through so many years of studying and cramming and
not just a marginal pass. It was a very good, very high pass. The fantastic marks in particular in advocacy. Really, really well done.
Yes, and I'll be able to talk about SQE2 and the performance in a little bit, but I'll just say this: advocacy was my weakest stations actually in my first attempt because I am a resitter, and this time around it was the fives. So again, it's surreal.
Yeah, we are talking about advocacy. Now you have a good potential to be a solicitor advocate. That's possibly the next move after qualification, just as a solicitor. You can become almost a barrister. So if you could tell us a little bit about your background, and you are from Romania, right? And what took you actually here to become a solicitor of England and Wales?
Yeah, no, great question. So I'll take us back about 12 years. As you mentioned, I'm from Romania. I moved to the UK, 13 years ago, studied law, and then I actually ended up taking a bit of a detour into the career. So I worked in finance. It's actually a funny story here. I wasn't very good at interviewing in my first and second year, naturally. And I actually decided I want to go into finance. So I started applying to all these investment banks and asset managers, and I simply ran out of places to apply to. But my 20-year-old self had this sort of Whittington-esque view of London as streets paved with gold. And I want to work in the city, buildings that make up the City of London landscape. And I distinctly remember the moment when I decided to walk around the city with the phone. Whenever I would see a building that I liked, I would note down the address, go back home, research the tenants in the building, and reach out to the grad rec that way, which is how I ended up working in finance, in legal and compliance. And I had a 10-year career doing that. Thank you, Google. And yeah, I qualified as a solicitor, and I'm also bringing some more good news. Just today, I signed an offer with Clifford and I'm joining them in their Romania office over the next few weeks while we cross the T's and dot the I's on joining the Romanian bar as well.
That's fantastic news. That's really good. Well done.
Yeah, again, I'm sort of pinching myself, especially because today is 27th of Feb. I got the results 3 days ago. So yeah.
It was a tough period to wait for the results. We're just talking about, in general, about your journey and everything. It's quite an emotional period when you have to sacrifice yourself for this difficult assessments and then wait.
I think it is in some respects. Personally, SQE2 was tougher, not because it's a longer period of time to wait. It was also the last step for me to qualify, and I already failed it. And the first time I failed it, I was actually completely surprised because I scored in the first quintile for SQE1, so I got a bit complacent. So that's probably going to be my first point, my advice. Like, don't get complacent. The two different exams for a very good reason, and they test different things. And I found that out the hard way. But yeah, I'd say I had to take a good 2-3 weeks to stop for the nightmares or dreams. I don't even know what to call them anymore. To stop and sort of ruminating over the assessment content and how I did and how I answered the question, or how I could have answered the question. And then, just like with most things, time heals everything. So by the time the results came around, I was somewhat immune to the results up until the last hour, and then I freaked out.
I think I've read on LinkedIn, I refer to your post, that
Yes.
meanwhile you qualified as a diving instructor or something. Am I right?
I did. So that's how I took my mind off the results and the weight. So that was quite nice. It was also in the context of deciding to move with my partner back to Romania, which is a decision we took while I was on the journey to qualify, but it was nevertheless the best decision for us.
And you knew you were going
So,
to have a career either way. You could do the diving or you could go into law.
Exactly. I do sometimes joke that there's not that much difference between law and diving because you gotta learn how to work under pressure.
that's true.
And watch out for
So,
sharks.
since you started from for sharks, that's true.
Yes, yes.